Interesting, we've seen this rotation in the last couple of weeks when it comes to out of tech and growth, but big moves into financials and small caps. So really kind of paying it forward here for one of your bets you've made since July. Can you call this revival in the Trump trade sustainable? What do you make of this repricing?
Part of it is like what you actually said. It was a sector rotation that we were calling for. There was a fair amount of underperformance from the financials till about July or August. And we've seen that sort of come back. So that's been one good news. But then it is true that the financials are part of the reflationary story. They're not just supposed to do as well as the markets. They're supposed to outperform. So possibly there is still another leg up. And if I were to look at valuations, you know, we are in a very, very valuation-rich territory. Everywhere we look at, banks and financials still make sense.
But when you take a look at the financials, though, I mean, how much more of a leg could we see here, Bhaskar, when you see the yield on the 10-year remain stuck in this range of 2 and 2.5%? What could break out of that?
Well, you know, having said that, you're going to still have some near-term opportunities. I mean, the rate environment is definitely slowly moving up. I mean, we're not talking about anything dramatic. For example, we expect one more rate hike this year and possibly one next year. So we're not in the huge rate increase scenario, but I'm just saying that there's still a gentle upgrade on the rate cycle, and that does provide a certain amount of leeway for banks. And given how strong the balance sheets are, the fact that you're still possibly going to get positive earnings surprises, and the fact that the economy is reasonably solid, right. I do think that the banks are still a good place to be.
So you're saying that markets are more or less repricing tighter policy from the Fed, more so than what we're seeing in terms of the hopes of any kind of tax reform?
Well, you know, tax reform, like we said, it's we've seen so much of exuberance from this new administration in terms of new initiatives, and then we pull back. So I think, again, this time it's possibly the twice bitten kind of story. I think people just want to wait it out to see how the tax reform plays out. It will be positive markets, and it will be positive overall markets, but also financials. But I do think that we need to be sort of more measured about what to expect.